Being kind and warm used to mean something. Now, it's mistaken for weakness, or worse, permission. Permission to ignore you. Permission to cancel on you last minute. Permission to take what you give without ever returning it. You help. You show up. You try to be understanding. And slowly, something changes. Texts take longer to come back. Invitations stop including you. Your opinions get brushed aside. People speak over you, or worse, around you. Not because you did something wrong, but because warmth without limits gets reclassified as weakness. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Kindness without boundaries erases you. Availability without mystery drains your value. And emotional openness, when it's constant, makes you predictable, and predictable people are easy to manage. If you want to be respected, not tolerated, if you want people to hesitate before crossing you, if you want your presence to carry weight instead of being taken for granted, then you need to learn how to become cold. Not cruel, not heartless. Cold in the sense of controlled, selective, and deliberate. By the end of this video, you'll understand 7 precise ways to detach emotionally, reclaim authority, and reverse the dynamic that's been quietly working against you. This isn't about attacking people. It's about stopping them from testing you. Ignore this, and nothing changes. You'll stay agreeable. You'll stay accessible. And you'll keep wondering why effort never turns into respect. Apply what you're about to learn, and things will change for good. Your silence starts to speak. Your presence becomes heavier. And people begin adjusting their behavior around you without you having to ask. Let's start. 1. Become unpredictable. People don't respect what they can manage. They respect what they can't anticipate. When you're predictable, you become easy to place. They know you'll reply. They know you'll forgive. They know you'll show up even when it costs you. And once people know exactly how you operate, they stop handling you carefully. Coldness begins with unpredictability. That doesn't mean chaos. It means refusing to behave on demand. Stop replying the moment your phone lights up. Stop rearranging your schedule every time someone calls. Stop reacting the same way every time to the same behavior. One day, you're present. Another day, you're unreachable. One conversation, you're engaged. The next, you're brief and distant, not to manipulate, but to protect your position. When people can't read you, their attention sharpens. They start monitoring their words. They replay interactions. They wonder where they stand. That uncertainty shifts the balance. Human psychology is simple here. What's predictable gets ignored. What's inconsistent gets analyzed. That's why uncertainty keeps people checking their phones. That's why distance can create obsession. And that's why predictability quietly kills respect. Flip the dynamic. Stop being the one waiting. Become the one others wait for. Vary your availability. Change your energy. Respond based on intention, not expectation. You're not being fake. You're revealing less. And when people can't map you, they can't control you. That's when respect starts creeping back in. 2. Speak less. Command more. Most people dilute their own authority with words. They explain. They justify. They defend decisions that don't require permission. They're uncomfortable with silence, so they fill it. And in doing so, they make themselves smaller. Here's the rule. The more you speak, the less each word is worth. Coldness sharpens language. Watch people who are taken seriously. They don't rush. They don't ramble. They don't over-clarify. Their sentences are short. Their tone is steady. And when they finish speaking, they stop. Silence does the rest. When you talk less, people lean in. They listen harder. They assume there's more behind what you're saying. Your words land heavier because you don't waste them. Stop over-explaining your choices. You don't owe narratives, only decisions. Get comfortable with silence. Let others feel the pressure to fill it. Say things once. If they missed it, that's not your problem. I watched someone transform this way. He used to dominate every conversation, every meeting, every discussion. He thought presence meant volume, but people tuned him out. Then he changed. He spoke only when necessary. He waited. He observed. And when he finally spoke, rooms went quiet. Not because he talked more, but because he talked less. That's the shift. Cold people don't speak to be liked. They speak to be clear. No backtracking, no softening, no chasing approval. Master this, and people don't just hear you, they listen. 3. Stop seeking approval. This one cuts deeper than most people are ready for. Approval is the most common addiction nobody admits to. People chase it through likes, through fast replies, through saying yes to things they secretly resent just to avoid disappointing someone. And the cost is always the same. The more you need approval, the easier you are to control. People sense it instantly. Neediness doesn't hide at leaks. Coldness begins when you sever that dependency. You stop monitoring reactions. You stop adjusting your behavior to keep everyone comfortable, and something subtle but powerful happens. You become immovable. Here's the paradox most people miss. Respect only appears when you stop trying to earn it. The moment validation stops being your fuel, people start offering it voluntarily. Think of someone you know who genuinely doesn't care what others think. How are they treated? Carefully, with distance, with a strange mix of respect and curiosity. Why? Because they can't be guilted. They can't be pressured. They can't be controlled through praise or rejection. They're cold, and coldness is magnetic. I've seen this play out clearly. At a previous job, there was a man who lived for approval. He stayed late to be noticed, volunteered for everything, laughed at jokes that weren't funny. Everyone saw it. And quietly, everyone dismissed him. Then there was another man. He did his work. He left on time. He didn't perform for anyone's approval. When promotions came, the decision was obvious. The man who didn't need validation became valuable. That's the reversal. When you stop chasing approval, people begin chasing yours. Here's how you detach in practice. Stop asking for opinions unless you actually need guidance. Constantly asking, "What do you think?" hands your authority away. Stop apologizing for decisions that don't harm anyone. "I can't make it" doesn't require an essay. Treat praise and criticism the same way as information, not identity. Accept compliments calmly. Evaluate criticism objectively. Discard both if they don't serve you. Do not defend yourself unless it's necessary. Your worth doesn't fluctuate based on someone else's reaction. Once that belief locks in, you become difficult to manipulate, detached, grounded, free. And free people don't ask for respect. They attract it. 4. Use absence as power. Most people misunderstand value. They think availability creates importance. It doesn't. Constant availability makes you replaceable. When you're always reachable, always willing, always present, people stop handling you carefully. They assume access. They assume compliance. That's when respect erodes. Coldness understands absence. You are not always there, not always reachable, not always the emergency solution. And when you pull back, something interesting happens. People notice. Here's the rule. People only value what they might lose. If you're always around, there's no urgency, no awareness, no respect. But when you become scarce, when your presence is no longer guaranteed, attention returns. Scarcity creates value. Diamonds are prized because they're rare. Water is essential, but cheap because it's everywhere. Be the diamond. Look at relationships. The person who texts first every time, makes every plan, and clears their schedule for others slowly loses leverage. The one with a full life priorities, structure, direction, gains it. Not because they're playing games, but because their time matters to them. Here's how absence is applied. Stop initiating every interaction. Let silence do some of the work. Stop attending everything. Your presence should feel earned, not assumed. Stop being the default helper. Assist by choice, not obligation. I watched a friend learn this the hard way. She organized everything, checked in constantly, made herself available to everyone, and people treated her time like it was worthless. So she stopped. She pulled back, focused inward, reclaimed her schedule. Nothing else changed. Suddenly, people reached out. Plans were made for her. Her time was respected. Availability was the only variable. That's the lesson. Your time is your most valuable asset. Don't give it away freely. Don't price it cheaply. Don't wait around for people who treat it casually. Pull back when necessary. Disappear when needed. Let people feel the absence. Not to manipulate, but to restore balance. Because absence doesn't make people care more emotionally. It makes them recognize value. And once value is recognized, respect follows naturally. 5. Guard your emotions. Let's be clear. Vulnerability is a weapon, but it's rarely your weapon to hand out. The modern world tells you to be open, to share, to express everything you feel. That advice is incomplete and dangerous. Yes, with the right people at the right time, vulnerability builds trust. But with most people, it creates leverage. People remember your insecurities. They catalog your weaknesses. They learn which buttons to press and press them when it benefits them. Coldness begins when you treat your emotional world like classified information. You don't break down publicly. You don't erupt in anger. You don't display your inner state on your face for anyone to read. Why does this matter? Because when people can't read you, they can't control you. They don't know if they've offended you. They don't know if they've impressed you. They don't know whether they've won or lost. And uncertainty changes behavior. Cold people don't react emotionally in real time. They observe. They absorb. They respond on their timeline, not someone else's. I've seen this difference play out clearly. Two colleagues argued. One became emotional, voice raised, explanations rushed, energy scattered. The other stayed calm, listened, said nothing unnecessary. Then calmly ended it with, "We'll revisit this when it's productive." No shouting, no justification, no emotional spill. Everyone noticed who held the power. Emotional control signals strength. It communicates stability. It tells people you are not easily shaken, and people fear what they cannot destabilize. Here's how you guard your emotions in practice. Stop reacting instantly to criticism or bad news. Pause. Process privately. Respond later with clarity. Stop sharing your struggles with everyone. Pain made public becomes material for others. Stop letting stress show on your face. Calm exterior. Always. This doesn't mean you become empty or numb. It means you choose when and with whom emotion is shown. You cry alone or with someone who has earned that access. You feel anger privately, then address the issue calmly. You celebrate quietly without broadcasting. Emotional restraint is power. Most people surrender that power constantly. They react to everything. They wear their feelings openly. They are easy to read and easy to handle. An open book gets skimmed once and set aside. Be a locked vault instead. Let people wonder. Let them guess. Let them work. That mystery is not cruelty. It's control. And control separates the powerful from the powerless. 6. Let silence speak. Most people are afraid of silence. They rush to fill gaps. They explain too much. They justify unnecessarily. Quiet makes them uncomfortable. Cold people understand something different. Silence is pressure. When you say nothing, people expose themselves. They get nervous. They talk more. They reveal intentions they didn't plan to show, all because you stayed quiet. Silence is not absence, it's a tool. When accused, don't defend immediately. Pause. Let them talk. Watch them unravel. When asked a difficult question, don't rush. Let the silence settle. Then, answer precisely. When provoked, don't react. Stay still. Stay neutral. Let them lose control. Here's the reality. People interpret comfort with silence as power. Quiet signals confidence. It signals self-control. It signals that you don't need noise to exist, and that unsettles people. I've been in situations where someone tried to provoke a reaction. A comment was made. Eyes turned toward me. Everyone waited. I said nothing. No smile. No anger. No defense. 10 seconds passed. Then 20. They started backtracking. I was just joking. I never spoke, but the silence spoke for me. It said, "You don't control me. Your attempt failed." That is dominance. Here's how you apply it. In arguments, stop chasing the last word. Let silence close the conversation. In meetings, don't speak to be noticed. Wait. Observe. When you speak, it will land heavier. In relationships, stop over-explaining. Sometimes silence is the answer. When disrespected, don't argue. Hold eye contact. Let the quiet hang. When demanded an explanation, remember you don't owe one every time. "I'm not discussing this" is enough. When drama appears, don't engage. Silence removes you from the battlefield entirely. Silence is not weakness. It's restraint. It's discipline. It's command. Most people can't tolerate it. They crack under it. But when you master silence, you control the pace. You decide what deserves a response. You decide when the interaction ends. And when you do, people will fear your quiet more than your words. 7. Protect your mystery. The less people know about you, the less power they have over you. Cold individuals do not overshare. They don't narrate their lives online. They don't announce their plans, their struggles, or their next move. They protect their mystery, and mystery creates gravity. Think about the people who quietly command attention, the ones who feel composed, grounded, untouchable. What do they all have in common? You don't fully know them. They don't perform their lives for an audience. They don't explain themselves endlessly. They exist in their own orbit, and people are drawn to what they can't fully access. Coldness isn't about distance in space. It's about distance in information. You're present but not exposed. You're friendly but not transparent. You're accessible but not available. You become a puzzle, and humans are obsessed with puzzles. Here's why mystery works. When everything is revealed, nothing is valued. Predictability breeds dismissal. Overexposure kills intrigue. But when parts of you remain unseen, curiosity forms, attention sharpens, respect follows. Most people exhaust their entire story in one conversation: where they're from, what they're dealing with, who hurt them, what they're planning. After that, there's nothing left. Cold people do the opposite. They answer questions without giving themselves away. They share stories without exposing weak points. They let people in just enough, never fully. Here's how you protect your mystery in practice. Stop oversharing online. Not every moment deserves an audience. Stop explaining your every decision. You don't owe a play-by-play of your life. Stop answering every question. "I'd rather not get into that" is a complete sentence. When asked what you're doing, vague is powerful. Handling things, focused on work, that's enough. When someone digs into your personal life, redirect calmly. Stay neutral. Stay composed. I know someone who never announces plans. They execute first, then people find out. No updates, no previews, no explanations. And because of that, people are constantly curious. They pay attention because they don't already know. Compare that to people who broadcast everything. Nobody listens. Nobody wonders. Nobody cares. Information is currency. Spend it carefully. When you protect your mystery, you protect your power. People can't gossip about what they don't know. They can't weaponize what you never shared. They can't judge what you never revealed. And power that can't be touched commands respect. Stay private. Stay unreadable. Stay cold. Let people wonder. Let them guess. Let them work. The moment someone fully figures you out is the moment your leverage dies. Now let me ground this in reality. I knew someone. We'll call him Marcus. Marcus was warm, always available, always helpful, always smiling. At first, people loved him. Then, they started using him. Plans canceled last minute. Favors taken without gratitude. Messages ignored until they needed something. Marcus gave his time freely. No one protected it. He showed up for everyone. No one showed up for him. One night, after yet another cancellation, he understood something brutal. Warmth wasn't earning respect. It was making him convenient. So he changed. He stopped answering immediately. He said no without explanations. He stopped smiling for people who disrespected him. He became quiet, reserved, unavailable, cold. People noticed. What's wrong with Marcus? He's acting different. Marcus didn't explain. He didn't apologize. He just stayed cold. And within weeks, everything shifted. The people who ignored him started reaching out. The ones who disrespected him started apologizing. Those who took him for granted suddenly valued his time. Nothing inside Marcus changed, only his boundaries. I asked him once what flipped the switch. He said, "People don't respect what they can take for granted." So I stopped being something they could take for granted. That's the point. This isn't about cruelty. It's about calculation. Warmth without boundaries is weakness. Coldness with intention is strength. Marcus guarded his energy. He protected his time. He became unpredictable, detached, and scarce. And respect followed automatically. So now you understand why coldness earns respect, why excessive warmth makes you invisible, why people only take you seriously when you stop being so available, emotional, and readable. You've learned 7 principles. Be unpredictable. Speak less. Stop seeking approval. Use absence as leverage. Guard your emotions. Let silence speak. Protect your mystery. These aren't ideas. They're tools. And knowing them means nothing if you don't apply them. You don't act cold. You become cold. Not empty. Not cruel. But controlled. Detached. Untouchable. Ignore this, and nothing changes. Apply it and people think twice before crossing you. Most people will watch this and do nothing. They'll return to being overly nice, overly available, overly exposed, and they'll keep getting the same results. But you're still here, which means you already know you deserve respect. You deserve to be taken seriously. You deserve to stop being drained. So stop giving yourself away for free. Protect your energy. Control your reactions. Use silence. Withdraw strategically. Let people miss you. Let them wonder. Let them earn access. That's how you flip the dynamic. That's how you reclaim control. That's how respect appears. If you want to go deeper, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new uploads. Become cold and watch how the world adjusts.